Well, hello, sports fans. Greetings and salutations. It's Larry Eder. RunBlogRun, our program, Socialing the Distance. And this week we featured Emily Oren. Emily is one of the new members of the new club, the OAC, the On Athletic Club. Emily went to Hilldale College in Hilldale, Michigan, a Division II school. She won 9 NCAA titles. Her favorite event, the steeplechase, where she's run 940.65. She said she's okay in barriers. She's got to work on the water barrier a little bit. She has a challenging relationship with the 1500, although she ran a big PB 414 at the Music City event. She had a pretty good experience with the 5,000, so she thinks she'll do that down the road. 10,000, she thinks it's a little long right now. We had a great conversation, kind of far-ranging. I wanted to find out about what it was like competing in college. She had 3 different coaches then. Post-collegiate, she worked with one of her collegiate coaches for a bit, and then 2 years ago, Dathan is her coach at the OAC as well. She likes his breadth of knowledge. She likes his breadth of experience, and they work well together. And I still think coach-athlete relationship is art and science. You can have the greatest coach in the world, and if the kid doesn't believe in him, the kid doesn't feel comfortable, it's not going to work. So that's part of it. On Running, which is a Swiss running shoe company that's doing quite well in an industry that has 49 different opportunities to get different shoes. And you've got to pick one of them, or you pick many of them. On has become quite popular with women. It's fit, the colors. People don't understand why it works, but they say it does work, so that's good for them. Dathan's got a group of athletes he's built around, and Emily is the first of the women OAC athletes that we've interviewed. We've got a couple more today, but she's a lot of fun. She's back in Michigan, running 5 miles every other day and planning her wedding, which will be in October. And that's got to be juggling and then back to training. Their training will be based in Boulder, where Dathan has moved to, and set up some places for the OAC to train. And this is also during a pandemic time, which has been a challenge as well. But in a lot of ways, it slows things down and athletes a chance to develop. And I think that's really, really key. What did I learn from talking to Emily? That 26-year-olds have a lot of enthusiasm. And I asked her if she'd be competing in 2028. She didn't rule it out. She said she never really thought about it. She did mention that she'd had a good fartlek tempo workout, and Coach Ritzenheim said, that'll get you ready for the marathon, your marathon debut in 2028, which, makes a lot of sense, because women's running has been around for a long time. The truth is, women's running, they only kept track of women's marathon times since the 1960s, when it was rumored back in 1896 that Melpomene, the young daughter of a farmer, Greek farmer, ran the entire Olympic marathon distance. And there's a Melpomene Institute, which focuses on women's sports medicine issues. But women have been involved in athletics for a long, long time. And the opportunities are finally becoming equal, and giving women a chance to compete longer, compete, have kids and come back and compete, have kids, coach, or compete, have kids, go on with their lives. Running is just part of our life. It's not all of it, although sometimes, and I remember being there in my 20s, it was, that in school, it was my life, and I enjoyed that and the camaraderie. So it's kind of fun to see that with male and female athletes. It's fun to see an enthusiasm of starting a club, being the first. And that's one of the opportunities we're getting with the OAC is getting to see a club in its infancy. One of the big themes of running in the U.S. over the last 10 years has been the success of American running clubs, from Pete Rea with Zap Fitness to the Oregon Track Club to Brooks Hanson's, to Brooks Beast, to Adidas's groups, to all the key groups all over the country. But it's all about the chance to work with like-minded people, to get the attention from a coach, to be able to work, to be able to train, run, sleep, work out, and focus on goals for a few years. The Florida Track Club showed us how to do it back in the 1970s when Jeff Galloway, Jack Batchelor, and Frank Shorter were set up a camp a couple months ahead of the Olympic trials in Eugene, 1972, and were running 150 to 160 miles a week and coming down to low altitudes doing intervals. And they just got themselves in Beastmaster shape. And that's part of the challenge, is how do you do it? Do you train with one person? Do you train by yourself? Do you train with a group? The OAC is going to train with a small group under the watchful eye of Dathan Ritzenheim and being supported by On Running. So we wish them well. Emily, Oren, thank you again. The only question I didn't get to ask you about was economics, but we'll do that another time. And thank you to Emily, Oren. Thank you to Mike Deering, who manages Socialing the Distance and tries to manage me with the help of my son, which is a 24/7 operation. So long from San Jose, California. This is Larry Eder with Socialing the Distance, the Epilogue, and we featured Emily, Oren today.